So basically, I'll be sharing my screen with you guys so we can continue from where we stopped the last time. Okay. So I want to believe we can see my screen now. I believe you can see my screen now. If you can hear me, please, you need to probably say something so I can know. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen? I'm on feed.
Yes, sir.
Alright, you don't need to raise up here. Just unmute yourself and say something, then mute yourself back. Alright, so this is the Figma platform. I think in the last class, I think I explained that I told us how we are going to the platform you are using, how you can set up your account, how you can create a new file when you come to draft and everything like that. I hope you didn't forget, and I hope we all probably checked the website by ourselves so you can get familiar with it. So, and the last time I said we'll be creating a food app, so we're going to continue from where we stopped to make the design continuously. And if you have any idea, you can chip it in so we can create something using the idea you have. Every idea is actually welcome. If you miss Mr. Balijo, if you miss the first class, you need to go to the YouTube channel. The video is there, so I can't probably repeat myself like that, but the video is there, so you can go back and watch it. That is why I record the classes we have, so you can go back there and check it. So I don't have much time today, so this is our start. Alright, so we're going to continue today from where we stopped in the last class. So we're creating, in the last class we're creating a, what's it called, we're creating a food app, and I think I've explained all the interfaces, all the icons we have here. This is our workspace in figma.com. You can download the app on your platform, and if you want to create a frame, you just like probably create a new file, then create a frame using iPhone 11 Pro Max or any of the frame you probably want. If it's iPhone 13 and so on and so forth. If it's web, you use desktop, view, iPad, whichever you probably work. But we're using iPhone 11 Pro Max, and this is our first frame, and this is the first thing we actually did in the last class. So basically this is our frame. If I bring, I think there's a drop down here to see the things, the elements we have added. So today we are going to continue to like beautify our app. We want to beautify our app. So for us to beautify the app, for every platform, for every app you probably see, there's a way designers beautify it, so it's going to be appealing to the user on the other hand. So for this one, basically I am going to I think I want to do something else here. I want to reduce this. I want to reduce this. Okay, I think this is fine. Then I want to bring this, our text, I want to bring it down with it. Then I think I should stroke it. Yes, outside. Let me use two. I think one. I just want to stroke it so the text will be visible. So basically now I want to beautify the app by putting an image inside what we are seeing, like putting an image. So I said if you are a graphic designer on it will be more easier for you to come up with designs and create something for whatever brand you are working for, or whichever company is telling you to make a design. So it just basically you putting together different type of elements, your square, your ellipse, your text, pictures together, and just making it beautiful. So basically now I just want to do something here. I want to add an image to this background. So we are doing a food app, and since we are doing a food app, I think for the user experience, the first thing I think a user will probably want to see that will tell them this is a food app is them seeing a food app or a food picture in the first slide of the app. So once you open Kuda, the first thing you see is the Kuda logo. Once you open UBA app, the first thing you see is the UBA logo, because that is telling you that the app you're actually currently on belongs to a particular brand, and it's a banking app. If it's food, then you know it's a food app. If it's for clothes and luxury stuff, necklaces, then the first impression you give the user is that okay, this is what it is specifically. So now I want to add a picture into this background. So the first thing I can just do is what is you come to your file site, this Figma logo here, then you come to the file and you're going to see place image, and there's a shortcut key for that, also Ctrl+Shift+K, but you just come to place image, then you click on that, then it takes you to your computer for you to pick whatever image you want to apply to your design. So I'm just going to use this because this is what I think I downloaded for it, and I will place the image inside my design. So now as you can see now that it is inside my design, it doesn't actually make any sense. It's not beautiful actually. I don't think it makes sense. You can't that's not appealing actually to a customer. So we are going to fine-tune that to make sure we can see the color, the orange color I was using previously, and we can also see the image of the food of this burger I'm saying in the background to just make it a bit appealing and beautiful. So for you to do that, I'm going to come to this place. I'm going to do what? Ctrl+Z to undo what I've done. So we take the picture away, and we're going to come to this fill zone. This fill zone, you can see the fill zone where I have my color, my orange color. And I'm going to click a plus sign to add something else there. And now I'll be adding the image through this fill zone by clicking the first one, and you come here. As you can see here, we have solid, we have gradient, we have image, and we have video, but we want to make use of what? An image. And the reason we are using this shortcut is because we want to make sure that the color we have added in the first place, we need it to also show, and we need the picture also to show. So both things must show, both elements must show, so that it's going to be more appealing. Only dropping the image inside the frame will hide the color itself, and we don't want that. So you click on image. Once you click on image, it's bringing you into this place, and you just like, okay, choose your picture. I'm choosing it, then this is it. It's going to has added it for me already. So basically I'm sure that we can see the what's it called, we can see the donut or the burger, whatever, in the background of the image already. So if I probably come here, it should have changed already. So you can see that, okay, fine. If you open this app on your phone, you're going to see the color, which is the brand, the color brand of the color of the brand. Then the picture in the background is telling you that, okay, fine, this is probably a food app. And again, the inscription on the app also, it says swipe up to explore the world of good food. So basically now, as a user, you already know that, okay, fine, this is a food app already. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Can we all hear me, please, before I proceed? Can we hear me? Or if you don't understand anything, you can probably call me back so I can. Okay, somebody asked a question. Sorry, I didn't see that. The person asked, let me check. Nice. Okay, the person asked, I can't actually see this. The person said, what software am I using? I'm using Figma. Figma. Let's go to Figma.com. That's what we're using. I think you were not in the first class. If you are not in the first class, or you were not in the first class, you need to just go back to my YouTube channel. Then you see introduction to UI UX there. Then you can learn from that one and probably continue with this one. So I'm going to continue from here. So basically, our first page of our app is almost done. Somebody has a question. Okay, you're welcome. So our first page of our design is almost done. So this is what we appear on the other end of the user, which is actually nice. This is what's going to appear on the other end of the user, which is nice. So the next thing I want to do is, it says swipe up, like swipe up to explore the good what is it called, good food or whatever like that. Yeah, so that will probably take us to the next page. So for us to go to the next page, we probably have to add an element. And the last time I think I said something, I said something about icons, that you are going to definitely be making use of icons. Yes, because it's important that we use icons. Let me use 25. I think this is, yeah, almost 20. Okay, so I was talking about icons. You are going to probably make use of icons, which I want to believe you all remember what I said about icons. So the last class I said you come to the resources area and you hit plugins, then you type icons. Then it's going to give you series of examples for the icon, and you can choose anyone you probably think is okay for you. Let me pick this one and let's load it up and let's see what it gives us. So everything basically you need is on the Figma website already, so you can just use it at your own discretion for any design you are probably making. So we're trying to create a food app, and let's see how that works out well for you. So for you being a beginner, you don't need your designs to be brilliant in the first instance. You can start creating, even if it's bad, just keep designing. The more you design, the more you get used to the platform. So that's what I need you to know. The more you design, the more you get used to the platform. So I'm probably looking for something, an element that we can probably use. And if I don't see it, probably look for something else. You can see all these icons. There's Instagram, there's Snapchat, there's X, there's LinkedIn. In case the app you're working for or you're working on needs you to add icons for all these social media platforms to design, then you can easily get all these things. Yeah, I didn't get what I'm looking for here, so I'm going to use my second icon and let's see what that gives me, because I think I'm looking for something in particular. So I'm trying to do all these things from the scratch for us to see. So, and this is the best way for us to practice. So let's use this, let's just use this icon for, yes, let's use this icon for the purpose of this class. Let me put it here, or let's remove this. I said swipe up. There's my icon again. So the first thing we did was create a frame. After creating a frame, you add your color, then your text, then the image. I want to believe you understand the way I added the image, and if you don't, please call me back so I can explain again. I didn't see what I'm looking for. Let me make use of that. I didn't see what I'm looking for, so let me make use of that. There are many icons out there in case you want to use them. So I can change the color of this icon to white, so it probably can be visible. And I said if you want to change the size, you can just easily press shift and resize it, and you can put it anywhere you probably want, on your file. So there we have it. If I go back to the preview, then it probably would have added it, and I need to load it again. Okay, frame. Can we still hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Alright, please, in case you don't understand anything, you call me back. And for those that they were not in the first class, you can go to the channel and check the YouTube class. The icon is not showing. Probably okay. Put the icon inside the frame. Alright, sorry. Alright, I made a mistake, so it's showing now. So now this is basically what we want to do. So now successfully we have created our first page. This is the first page of the what is it called, they are probably going to see when they want to check it. So I'm going to create a different layout again. So you can easily just copy and paste your, like, I'll do like this. I'll just click on Control this, click on the frame and just Control D, copy, and like you just copy and paste the frame, then now probably start over again. You can easily do that, or you can still go back to the same way I said it. For those that were not in the class, you can just come here to this region, to the drop down, click on F frame, then it's going to show you different type of, you can see phones here, 14 Pro Max like that, 15 Pro Max and the likes. You see desktop, you see tablet and the likes. Then archive, I'm using 11 Pro Max. Then I can use that to create a different and empty frame, as you can see. So now I can just move my frame one and just drop it somewhere, then take my other frame and drop it somewhere. Let me change the title to slide 2. So now there's something I wanted to explain in the last class, and that is what we call prototype. The reason you are creating an app is for the app to be very, very responsive. So now if you want your app to be very, very responsive, like I said, you want your app to be very, very responsive, there's something we are probably going to do, and that is what we call prototype in your design. You, as the UI UX designer, you are the one that will come up with all the design, then now start linking the design, each pages you are creating, each layers you are creating, you are going to link them together and make sure that they are all linked to something, to like to different things. So I'm going to do something here now. I'm going to create and click on my frame one and go to prototype here, and I want to link this my arrow here to this next page, this empty next page, like this. Then I'm going to say instance. Yes, let's use instance, and that is it. So if I go back to my design and I click on this arrow, it's going to go to the white page. That is the jinx about apps that we are using. So I can't go back now because I've not created the button to go back, but that is just how the design is. So whenever you click this arrow, then it is going to take you to the next page. That is prototype. That is how your app works. If you want to disengage it, you just take the app and remove. You just take that and you just remove it, or you can just like put it somewhere, then that is the end, and take your mouse away from prototype. That is how you manipulate, and you just give each design its own wireframe like that. So but we're not yet in that part, in that area. We're not yet in that area. All right, back. So now we want to create the slide 2. That is the next page of what is it called, of the app. The next thing the customer will see once they enter the app. I want to make it interesting. So the first thing I want us to do is create a, what is it called, a rectangle. This is a rectangle here, and I want to beautify it by making the edges, let's use 20. I think if you were in the last class, I spoke about corner radius, how to like bend the edges of your design, just the way I've done it like this, as you can see. And I can actually go to this thing and say I can easily go there and probably change the color if I want to. Let me change the color to white, then let me stroke it. Yes, and that's making, because I want to use a white background for the next slide. And this one I'm doing up here, I want to make it a search bar. So I'll go back to my icon, if you remember, then I'll open it. I'll go back to my next and I'll look for the search icon. Yeah, this is it. Then this is it. So everything you are doing on Figma, you are making sure that you are putting elements together. So you click on Shift and you resize the search bar, and this is it. You are creating a design. Now we are not prototyping, we are not using wireframe, we just want to create a design. Let's just create a design. That's all we are doing. Let's all just create a design. We're not linking them together, we're just creating. So now basically we have successfully created a search bar. This is a search bar. I'm sure you people see search bars in your apps or in websites where they tell you just click on that and search for something. So this is the first thing. So once we are here, you can easily just you just tell the customer to probably search for what they want, and they'll see what they are looking for, and that is that. So after the search bar, we can even do like this. Let me click this and this, click this and this. Okay, I did too. Okay, so I can easily do like this. It's my search bar. Probably move it back a bit. And I remember I said we can resize or we can center anything we want to do by clicking the alignment bar, align left, align right, align horizontally, whichever you want to do. You can just do it. I want to move this thing down, and I want to bring this one back inside this area here, because I want to do something on the top of my design, and which is what I want to write a text. Hello, Dotun. Okay, so you come to the text area. I want to reduce the size of the text. Let's use 25 because I don't want it to be too big. And let's write something else again under it. Let's say what will you like to eat today? Then I'm going to reduce that. I'm not going to make it bold, I'm going to make it regular. Then I'm going to reduce the size to probably, let's use 15. Then I'm going to put it under that. I'm sure we can see what I'm doing. I'm sure we can see what I'm doing. If it's becoming confusing, please call me back. Sorry, do we understand what I'm doing? Can anybody hear me? Do you understand what I'm doing?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Are you seeing my screen clearly? And can you understand putting together? Nobody's saying anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I want to ask a question. Yes. I want to ask a question. I don't just want to rush. So, Mr. Is it Mr. Taiwo or Mr. Taiwo? Can you hear me? All right. So, can you please just explain briefly how I added an image to our first slide without adding it directly from the first way I said you can add it? I can hardly hear you. I can't.
Went through a function on the Figma website that allows you to add a picture to what you are designing without altering design. So that was how you were able to add it without adding it directly because you that just eliminated the colors that you added already. Design.
Alright, thank you for that. So, Mr. Badijo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Alright, so can you quickly explain how I added my search bar to the second slide of the design?
Search bar.
Yes.
Well, I got lost in that part. I don't do much bar section. Where you go to from?
Alright, I said for when I added the search bar, I used let me do it again. I used the rectangle shape for the search bar. Then I went to my corner radius under design. Then I just like reshaped it. I think I added maybe 20 or something, so I can have this type of outcome, as you can see. Then I went to my icon area, which is the resources site under plugin. Then I said I looked for the particular icon I was looking for, which is the search icon here. Closed it. Then I resized it by pressing shift and move. Then I placed it inside it. I hope you can understand. I'm going to undo that.
Okay, thank you.
So that's basically the search bar. So we are creating the second page. So if I come back to this frame one and I go to prototype, then I click on this our arrow so that I can add to the next page like this. So let's say slide 1 instance. Let's say navigate to, yes, then instance. Let's say sliding. Yes, let me change the time to probably 500. So once I do this and I go back to our play here and I click on the arrow, it's going to bring the next page. I hope you can see that it's going to bring the next page I have created. So so you can see hello Dotun, what would you like to eat today? So the purpose of UI UX, the purpose of you being the UI UX, the product designer, is to create something that will be appealing to the end user. And you are also, after even creating the design, you are going to make sure it is swift and interactive with the person using it. So now I did what was it called, this design. Let me restart it again. I did the design. So once I click the arrow, you can see it responded fast. If I did it and it's very, very slow, let me go back to this. Let me go back to what I did. If I probably change it to like 100 milliseconds like this, then I go back to my design. Let me restart it. Then I press the arrow. You see it's very, very fast. And some users will probably know, like if I go to 1000 and I click it, then I go back, I restart, then I press the arrow. You see it's responsive, but it's also slow. So it now depends on the research you probably made as a designer, and you understand what the end user probably wants. If they want it fast, if probably the what's it called, the research you made maybe the people using the help you are using, probably it's for many people in the hospital, probably age adults, probably from 50, 60, 70. Then you don't need something that will be very, very fast. You need to make it slow. If it's probably for like youths, then you can probably make it a bit fast but not too fast. So all those things, you need to put all those things together. So we're trying to create the second page. Then I'm going to remove this prototype, put it anywhere, then it's gone, then go back to design. So the next thing we can probably create now is what? Now we probably want to start adding our food there, our food there. So what I can do now is what? We can either decide to like create a design again, like using this one. Let's do this. I hope you can see this. Then I can go to the file, place image, and just pick, where is this of other rice? Yes, this is it, and place it inside that my design. I hope you can see it. I placed it inside my design. I hope you can see what I did.
Yes, sir.
So we can place, we can place it inside the design, and you can probably use the image alone. Then I can come to my probably corner radius and maybe use 20 to just make the edges probably form and something like this. Basically, once I see this is a father rice, then you can probably shape it, put it where you want to put it, and the design is coming up already bit by bit. The design is coming up bit by bit. So if I go to the next page, let's go to prototype again and click on our arrow and move it to the next page. Then I go, let me reduce this to like 600, 500, slide in. Let's restart this. Then I click my arrow here. It takes me, as you can see, every element you had on each page will be showing on the person's mobile phone, because don't forget, you are designing for the end user. So this is basically your father rice, and we'll be adding all those things. So you can probably make a design for this thing. You can probably write something under it if you probably choose to want to do that. Write something under it, maybe rice or father. We are going to do all those things, text and everything. But first, I want to duplicate this thing that I've designed. I want to duplicate it. So the first thing is just to make sure that we are designing what we are designing. We are making it look good. We are making it appealing to the customer, and just beautify it. So this is a practical section, so we don't probably want it to be too nice. I think we have 27 minutes left. Let me remove the prototype. You come back to design, because if you stay on prototype, it will only be giving you option to prototype all your designs, not to even do anything. So you come back to design, then you continue with what you're doing. So I can go to images, and if I want to probably change it, you can see you can choose to do anything to your design. Anything you probably want to do, fit like this. It is smaller now. Normal. So I can choose to move my words. Let's undo this and make it nice. So it depends on how you want to probably do it. So I'm going to undo it. And for Figma, there's no delete button in Figma, so you probably just have to undo the things you do, undo them, then you go back to the way it was. It depends on how you probably want it, but there's nothing like delete on Figma. You have to undo everything you are doing. So basically, I just want to resize this. I want to make it big like this. Okay. I think it's good enough like this. So like I said, you want to duplicate it, then you just like move it, because I want to create two things. Yes, I think it's fair. Okay. So when it comes to designing, alignment, sizes, spaces, they really matter in what we are doing. They really matter in everything we are doing. So I'm just trying to duplicate all those things so we can probably use them later. Duplicate, put this one down here, duplicate, put this one here. All right, I think we have them, because I want to probably write something underneath all these things to just make it look nice. So I'm probably going to write, here's my text bar, meet. This is, so if I want to change the picture of each section again, before I even do any other thing, let me go back to my tool here. I want to change the picture here, so I just come back here, file, place image, look for something else. Let's use this, open, then place it. It is there already. The same thing goes here. I don't want to use one picture for everything. Let's use this. Okay, I've used this before. And just click and it's there. The last one, the same thing I've been doing, file, place image, and let's use this one. Then fine, it's inside it already. So basically everything is there already. So if I go to prototype and knit this and move it to my second slide, then I go to the next page and restart it. If I click on the next, then everything I've added, all the elements I've added, will be on the next page. So basically that is one thing about design. So you just be putting different things on different pages. Every page you are designing will be different. Everything you are designing will be what? Different. So let me do something. Let me do one last thing here. Let me go to design. I want to give this our design a back button, like a back button, something that will take us back to the home. So what I'm going to do is I want to create icons underneath our design. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a rectangle here. That is where I'm going to put most of our icons here, and the color I'm going to use will be the first color we used for our design, because basically I want to use the same thing. Then that we have it already. So we go to our plugin, our icon as usual, and it's going to pop out what we probably need. It's loading. So first I want to use the home button. This is the home button here. I want to put it here. Let me close this. This is the first thing we'll be doing. So click shift and reduce it. Yes, to probably the size we want to. I think it's okay here. And I will probably want to change the color to, let's use white. Yes, and we are good. So if I go back and restart it and click this, okay, it's not showing yet. I need to, where's my, okay, I need to put inside my slide too. It's here. Okay, it is here. So it's showing already. I go back, it's already showing on my dashboard. Let me move it to the side a bit. Alright, good enough. Alright, that's shown. So now I want to, this home button, when I go to prototype, this home button here on this my frame here, I go to prototype. I want to make this my home button take me back to the first page here. Slide in, let's just slide out. Alright, so when I go back to the initial page, restart it, and I click arrow, it takes me to the next page. When you come to the home button and you click it, then it takes us back to the first page. So that is prototyping. So designing, you're going to have multiple pages, like multiple pages. You can have 50 pages for one design, and you will continue having more pages as long as you are updating the app. That's why you get different things on different apps. You see some apps, they give you updates every month, or they give you updates probably every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like that. For people who play COD, the level of design on that particular app is just enormous, and it's not going to be one designer. There'll be a lot of designer, series of pages. So that is your job. You are given a job to do for a company. You start creating from the first page. This is the first page, to the second page, to the third one, till you get to the 20th, the 50th, and as long as you're working with the company, you will keep wanting to upgrade the app by creating more designs. by like upgrading some parts or some layers in the design. So that is basically your job as a UI UX designer. So you need to create different type of layouts, different type of design that will match as the company actually grows. So your prototyping also, this thing I'm showing, the movement, once, let's assume I'm done with this design, with this probably two slide, and I send it to a web developer that wants to write the code. They are going to write codes that once a user click this arrow, it's going to bring them to the next page. Once a user click the home button, it takes them to another page. That is their own job, to just write code for what I, as the UI, the product designer, has done. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Do we have any question before the call probably goes to an end? Quickly, if you have any question for the few for the little thing we have done this side, kindly ask questions. We'll be closing the class very soon.
Is there a way to like save the file or something? And what have you saved? Is there a way to save the file?
Sorry, come again. I can't hear you.
Is there a way to save the file?
Save the
Or what
file.
are you editing?
Save the file.
Yes.
Once your file is saved,
Can I save?
let me go back to Figma. As you can see, when I go back to my Figma, this is my design. This is my work area already. So it's just there. So if I go back to home, you can see that my design is here. If I open it, I'm back to my page. So it's always there, unless I go back home and I probably press, you can see, I probably press delete by myself. If I delete it by myself, then it will not be on your work area again. But as long as it's still on this interface that you are seeing, this is a draft, it will always be there forever until probably Figma shuts down their platform. I hope you understand. Any other question, please? Any other question, please? So basically, in the absence of no question, I think the assignment I probably want to give us is, you go to figma.com, you create a work area for yourself, and you create a first frame for yourself. Just put any design, put a search bar, and put anything. Just make a one-page design. Just a one-page design of something. Use a nice color. Anyhow you just want to do it, even if it's fine, it's not fine, just do something. Then you can probably take a screenshot, or you can send me the link. There's a way you can send it, or you can just probably take a screenshot of what you have designed and send it to me. That is how you grow. The more you practice, the more you get better. You can even play along by creating a second slide and using the prototype tab to just move one page to the other, move one page back to the other, the way we have done this night. Then as we advance more, you'll see that our layers and layers will keep getting bulky and bulky and bulky. So thank you all for attending tonight's class. I think we'll be meeting again, I think, on Saturday. Yes, on Saturday. So we'll continue from there again on Saturday. But for what you have learned today, please try to practice it. One thing about UI UX design is, once you don't practice, the tendency of you forgetting is like 80% for you to forget. So just try to practice, explore the website. It is free. So just explore it. So thank you all for attending the class. I'll see you on Saturday. Yes, on Saturday. Yes. Yes. Why are you not there? Now why is that outside?
I don't distract you.
Distract me. Like how? I'm ready. Your phone is full, Abby. Say what you my charge. Alright. Using my data outside.
I don't. Ah,